What's going on, my friends? Vitaly Dubin is here, and welcome back to another episode of today's In Crypto Show. So many crazy things are happening in crypto right now, so much to talk about. We see the previous CEO of FTX now bankrupt and collapse exchange. Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas and is held right now in a very poor condition in a cell in the Bahamas for at least the next couple of months. And the United States is trying to extradite Sam Bankman-Fried from the Bahamas to the USA. So we'll talk about that. We have the hearing in the United States that happened recently about FTX exchange. A lot of people testified, including Kevin O'Leary. And we talk about what he said there. He is accusing Binance CEO about the collapse of FTX, and Binance is launching back at Kevin right now. I mean, crazy stuff is happening. And we see even more crazier, the former president of United States, Donald Trump, is launched his own NFT collection. Is it fake? Is it true? Like, we'll discuss that. And is Binance okay? Is Binance safe? Because we've seen more than $3 billion withdrawn in the last week from Binance. And we, of course, talk about Bitcoin price itself. So let's get started, guys. Before we dive into the prices, we see a red day today and what's going on with Bitcoin. And we'll do some technical analysis. I'll start it off by what Kevin O'Leary is blaming Binance CZ in the recent congressional hearing defending Sam Bankman-Fried. So take a look at this and check this out.
But that's my personal opinion. That is what Sam Bankman-Fried told me in terms of where the assets went. Why should we care? Single reason. I'm a shareholder. They put FTX out of business. Now, lots of other reasons, I'm sure. But that's my personal opinion. That is what Sam Bankman-Fried told me in terms of where the assets went. Why should we care? Single reason. I'm a shareholder.
Essentially, guys, what Kevin is saying is that Binance has put SBF FTX out of business intentionally, which we now know it's not the case, because the assets of the user funds have been commingled with Alameda Research for their leverage trading activities. So there's a lot of shady records and bookkeeping that was almost, so negligent, as you learn just in a second. So Kevin is essentially saying that SBF bought $2.1 billion of a stake back from Binance, right? That was 2021, and that's where a lot of the money went. And then Binance CZ has said on Twitter publicly, I'm going to sell FTT token, and that caused the collapse. But we all know it's not the case, right? And Binance CEO CZ is striking back on CNBC and essentially calling Kevin O'Leary a liar. Take a watch of that.
CZ, the other thing I want to ask you about, and this relates to FTX. Yesterday, Kevin O'Leary testified in front of the Senate, and he was asked, where did the money go, meaning the FTX money. And he suggested that one place that the money may have gone is, in fact, to you. When Sam Bankman-Fried, back in the summer of 21, effectively bought out your stake in the company. How concerned are you that that money will be clawed back? Are you prepared to hand it back to creditors if, in fact, they were to ask? And was it paid to you in U.S. dollars, in some other kind of currency?
Well, first of all, I think Calvin O'Leary, he's making a bunch of nonsense claims, and they don't make sense. They don't make any logic. He shouldn't be making those claims as a celebrity investor. I'm actually very surprised that he's able to omit a lot of different things and make some really specific, targeted things. For example, in that interview with you guys, that in the same interview, he said the entire record from his account on FTX, the entire records are gone. He's not concerned about that. He just picks up the phone and calls SBF. He's not concerned about the fact that the platform records for users are gone. He's not concerned about other users. How many people can pick up the phone and call SBF? And he says he was talking with SBF up until the point that SBF was arrested.
Yeah,
That's an indicator of a very special relationship.
Yeah, I see your point, and I don't think the problems that existed at FTX were simply any back and forth between your two firms. It definitely led to the disclosure that there had been money that was taken, but that disclosure raises lots of questions about firms like yours. Have you done the same? Has there ever been commingled funds? Have you ever taken any of the clients' funds and done anything with them? And again, why should we believe you? Because Sam Bankman-Fried told everybody, no, that hasn't happened. And he tweeted a lot of the same stuff that you've been tweeting in recent days, which I think gets back to this idea of show me the money.
Yeah, so let's get back to show me the money part. So Calvin omitted the fact that there's no records. That's not a problem to him. So he just want to talk to Sam and believe whatever Sam says. He doesn't want to look at the records. And if you look, and he wants to omit all the small spendings, $50 million, $200 million. $200 million is small spending. That's very convenient. He says he didn't know that Binance was a shareholder of FTX. So he invested in FTX without looking at the cap table. But he was very specific in the way he counts for a transaction 2 years ago. So that's kind of contradictory. So I think Calvin's a liar. So I think he's lying about a bunch of stuff.
There you go. Kevin O'Leary is a liar. That's what the Binance CEO is saying right there. And he said about the safety of funds and of Binance that all exchanges, centralized exchanges, should keep one-to-one assets on the exchange. User deposit, they have one-to-one asset back in. It's not like a financial system like banks that are used to run on fractional bank reserve, which means essentially the banks are not keeping one-to-one user deposits into the bank, right? Majority of the funds, like 90% of the funds, are being loaned out by the banks. But crypto exchanges, no, they cannot do stuff like that. One-to-one user assets, and he's proving that point. I mean, Nansen portfolio is showing this is the net worth of the Binance exchange, right? $57 billion. That's how much they have there. There's the allocation to 27% USD, 20% USDT, 14% Bitcoin, 10% BNB, 10% Ethereum. So that's what they hold, and they're transparent about it. And Binance CEO said that if 100% of the users withdraw 100% of the money, it would cover. They'll be fine, right? Because they never spend like FTX money of FTX user funds on expensive commercials, etc., etc. But because of all this FUD and what's happening, and it's just a FUD, Binance customer withdrawals exceed $3 billion in 24 hours. So that's okay. If you take a look at the Will said the great bank run of Binance 2022, you can see is just a little bit of a dip here, so it's not really that panicky. A little $3.6 billion withdrawal and net outflows from the Binance exchange, but it's okay. And let's talk about SBF briefly. We have the founder of FTX previously, right? He was arrested in the Bahamas after US filed criminal charges, right? A sealed indictment by the Bahamian government. And now SBF in good spirits in a rat-infested prison. So this prison, the Bahamas Fox Hill prison, essentially is very bad. It's with rats. They don't have mattresses. They don't have toilets, right? They don't treat him any different. It's like other inmates at a 1,000 prison correctional facility, right? In a dorm style settings with 5 other inmates. And according to the report cited extreme overcrowding, poor nutrition, inadequate sanitation. Most of the prison cells, which measure 6 feet by 10 feet and house up to 6 inmates, have no mattresses or toilets. Inmates often sleep on the ground, and use buckets to dispose of human waste. So terrible conditions, but he's not rushing to get out of there because because in the US he's going to, I don't think, have any better conditions also. Maybe better, but not according to the lawyers that fight not to extradite him to the United States. So that's where he's staying right now in this prison. And the FTX 4 independently operated subsidiaries are now being sold. The FTX Japan and FTX Europe, in an attempt to repay creditors, they're selling those entities. And take a look at this. This is some of the for a 4-hour-long hearing about FTX. Alameda had an unlimited credit line into FTX user funds. So, well, there's like a never-ending piggy bank, essentially, made up of FTX customer funds. Crazy, right? Crazy. And we have the fact that FTX was using QuickBooks as an accounting software. So this accounting software is good for the individual, for the small business, but not for a multi-billion-dollar exchange, right? Crazy. And FTX executives hid $8 billion of Alameda's liabilities in an account that some refer to as the weird Korean account, our Korean friend account. This was like an account of Alameda. Interesting, right? And according to Binance, 99% of people who lose crypto storing in self-custody. This is interesting claim, as he is basically saying that people do not know how to back up their security, but you guys know better, right? You'll take good care of it. They'll not have the proper encryption for their backup. They will write it on a piece of paper. Someone else will see it. They will steal those funds. And also today, very fundamentally, if a person passes away, they don't have a way to give to their next of kin, whereas we have a standard operating procedure. Business as usual at Binance. With Sam Bankman's freed arrest, I think people generalize. So if you get hurt by one bank, you're gonna think all the other banks are bad. If one politician is corrupt, you think all politicians are corrupt. But the fact is that because one bank is bad doesn't mean all the other banks are bad. And just because one politician is bad doesn't mean all the other politicians are bad. Just because one exchange, FTX, collapsed doesn't mean that Binance is doing something shady. So there you go. And here is one more piece of news for today. Donald Trump announced NFT of himself to buy and get dinner with the former US president, and he released this this video, and the NFTs already sold out. Take a look at this.
Hello everyone, this is Donald Trump. Hopefully your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln, better than Washington, with an important announcement to make. I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection right here and right now. They're called Trump Digital Trading Cards. These cards feature some of the really incredible artwork pertaining to my life and my career. It's been very exciting. You can collect your Trump digital cards just like a baseball card or other collectibles. Here's one of the best parts. Each card comes with an automatic chance to win amazing prizes like dinner with me. I don't know if that's an amazing prize, but it's what we have. Or golf with you and a group of your friends at one of my beautiful golf courses, and they are beautiful. I'm also doing Zoom calls, a one-on-one meeting, autographing memorabilia, and so much more. We're doing a lot. My official
So guys, there you go. He's selling those cards for $99 a piece. Already been sold. It looks like a genuine video. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Because the crazy part is that Donald Trump was mocking of crypto. He was mocking of Bitcoin crypto just 3 years ago, right? He said, I'm not a fan of it. And now he launches his own NFT collection. So is Donald Trump what is this? Is a signal that the bear market is ended? Like, isn't perfect, right? It's a perfect signal that the bear market is over, and we are getting ready for the next wave, right? And just to remind you guys, a fun fact, exactly 4 years ago was previous bear market's bottom for Bitcoin. Exactly 4 years ago, to this day, on this day, 4 years ago, boom, we had a previous bear market bottom. So do we have it right now? I sure believe so. I'm not betting on the price of Bitcoin going down from here, right? Let's take a look at the price. Like I bought some more Bitcoin right now at the $17,000 level, and technically speaking, we are in the bull trend. I mean, from this rally went from this $15,500, right? We have this we have this this bottom, and then ever since, if you take a look at what's happening here, this is a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and right now we have not closed below $16,850 on the daily. So we are traveling in this channel, which may end up being another bear flag, which will be very crazy because if you measure from here a bear flag, it can take us to $13,000. You know, 13,007 is like a very big support level for Bitcoin. If you look at the previous high here on June 2019, okay. But is this a bear flag, a huge bear flag on a daily, when we see this relief rally over here towards $18,000 and boom, another crash to 13,700? Is this the case or not? Time will tell. So far, you don't know how to time the market, but we are not broken the trend yet. We are in an uptrend right here on the daily, and unless we close, we are in an area of support right now around $17,000. Unless we close a daily candle below $16,850, then we can talk about a change in direction, and then we'll be cautious, and you know, we will see if we can break the next 15,800. But we are not there yet. We are at support right now, and we not necessarily have to go another leg low like in the bear flag scenario, okay. But in any case, the whole area, the whole zone, like I outline here in this orange rectangle, this whole area is amazing opportunity long term to accumulate Bitcoin at its cheapest levels and sit on it for the next few years of the bull market. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Stay up to date with what's going on with the market. Everybody have fantastic Friday, and I'll see you in the next episode of Today in Crypto Show.